Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. Who needs Bed Bath & Beyond when it's a lot easier just to clean house? Meet KLEPTO, Bonnie and Clyde. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
Magistrate Casties, there's also the victim wanted to watch. I'm not sure if he is doing the YouTube or the Zoom, but there may be an additional person in the lobby.
Okay, what we did is I spoke with the gentleman and gave him the instructions on how to get live on YouTube by going through Grand Traverse County website.
Okay,
So hopefully he'll be able to view it that way.
thank you.
And if not, I'll leave my video up for half an hour, so maybe he could get back in and replay it. Hey, Mr. Hubble, do you have a camera? Oh, there we are. Thank you. Now I'll make mine work and we'll be all set. All right. Okay, we are now on the record and live on YouTube. This is going to be case number 252610 FY2. And this is Mindy Luan. Would you state your last name, please? Okay, we cannot hear you.
Weigel.
Weigel? Thank you. All right, the address we have is, all right, this is a case alleging receiving and concealing stolen property, $1,000 or more, but less than $20,000. And present with us today is our prosecutor, Mr. Chamberlain, and also our MIDC attorney, Paul Hubble. Mr. Hubble, have you had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Weigel regarding the charge, the possible sentence, and also her Miranda rights?
I did, Your Honor. I believe she understands the nature of the charge, the maximum possible penalty. She's also aware of her rights. She'd waive a formal reading of either of those things. She's asking the court to appoint an attorney for her in this case, please.
Thank you. Ms. Weigel, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the information you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, we'll be asking you questions for the purpose of the court-appointed attorney request and also for bond setting on this. What is your phone number, please? Are you renting, buying, living with parents, or paying room and board at that address?
Renting.
Are you single, married, divorced, or separated?
Divorced.
Do you have any dependent children living with you at that address?
No, I do not currently.
Are you working?
No.
What is your source of income?
Social Security disability.
Do you own any real estate or a vehicle?
I have a vehicle that I make payments on.
And what type of vehicle is that?
A 2020 Nissan Murano.
Do you have any money in the bank?
No, I do not.
All right, the court will appoint an attorney to assist you through this process. You should be receiving information regarding that sometime in the near future. Now, we do need to talk about bond on this. You have the right to have a bond. Mr. Hubble, did you have anything you'd like to say about bond, please?
She's lived at that address for the last 15 months. Prior to that, she lived in Kalkaska. Her 3 children live with her ex-husband in Kalkaska. She also has a son by a prior marriage who lives up north in Kinross. Don't think she's a flight risk. Ask the court to allow her to be released on a PR bond.
All right, thank you. Mr. Chamberlain, anything from the prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. I would like no contact with the victims in this case. I would like also that she can't go to the Charlevoix house, which is the alleged location of the larceny from which the items in this case came from. I'd ask for a tether if she's released. There is a decent chance that the receiving and concealing count will be increased to the 10-year. We are trying to get a proper accounting of all of the items that were taken. What I would ask, first of all, I know that Charlevoix has a hold. They need to do their arraignment, their bond setting, and things of that nature. I think a PR bond is not appropriate in this case. I think it should be a minimum of $10,000. And however, I think that it would be appropriate to allow allow Miss Weigel to be um, transferred and housed at the Charlevoix jail for those things. The charges, as I understand them, I haven't seen the document, but I believe it's conspiracy, larceny over $100,000. It is actually $2.4 million, home invasion, second degree, and an attempt larceny.
If there is a hold on her for,
Charlevoix County.
I'd ask then as an alternative for a low 10% bond so she can arguably get credit on this. And she could clear that up with her attorney when she gets the attorney in this case, if she's able to post bond up there.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hubble. Ms. Weigel, are you on bond or probation for any other case at this time?
No, ma'am, I've not been in trouble in over 10 years.
And in 2 years?
10.
10.
10 years. Okay.
My understanding is that she didn't have any prior problems. She did have a 2012 case. She was successfully discharged early in 2014 on that matter.
Okay, I show a case in Crawford County that was actually closed on November 2016 for alleged.
That was from that 2000. Yep, that was that 2014 case.
Right.
They finally arrested me in 2014 and then I went through probation, but the crime happened in 2012. I just didn't know I was
Oh, okay, yeah.
wanted.
Well, we usually take a look at when the case was actually adjudicated. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. All right, so nothing since 2016. Very good.
Yes.
And Mr. Chamberlain, do we have an amount for the goods as of right now? Still working on that figure. Are we over 10,000?
We are over 10,000.
Are we under 20,000?
The victim thinks it's going to be closer to 30.
Okay.
There were so many random items such as kitchen knives and things like that it's very hard to put a value. I've asked them to do their best to provide a value but there were TVs. There was just one moment. I just want to grab there was a washer, a dryer, vacuum, there were TVs, there was a whole list of items, the whole house was taken if it wasn't bolted down, pretty much.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I apologize. There is one other thing I'd ask. Upon arrest, Miss Weigel also had a meth pipe. I haven't decided whether or not to do charges because I don't know. I don't have enough to show if there was any amount other than residue. If she's released, I would also like to have drug testing, Your Honor.
All right, standard bond conditions are going to apply. One of them is you may not leave the state without permission from the court. You're not to get into any trouble while you're out on bond. You're not to have any alcohol, illegal drugs, marijuana, minor mood altering substances in your possession. Do you have a medical marijuana card?
No, I don't smoke marijuana, ma'am.
Do you take any medications?
No, I do not.
Should that change, you would need to provide a list of those to the court. within 48 hours. You are going to be subject to discretionary testing for drugs and alcohol. We will be doing a benchmark drug screen upon your release and twice a month randoms after that. Those will be done at New Direction in Traverse City, so an order will be generated for you. You're not to have any weapons of any kind, no threatening, intimidating, harassing behavior towards any persons. You are to be respectful of all court staff, law enforcement, care providers. You're not to operate a motor vehicle without a valid license, registration, insurance, not with drugs or alcohol in your person. You're not to have any contact with any co-defendants. Specifically, I believe that would be Joel Ferrari.
That's correct.
Is there any other party that she's not to have contact with?
Just
That
the
we-
victims, which would
Okay.
be
All right,
Breck.
Okay, or the victims. You're not
Okay.
to have any contact with the victims. You are not to go to the address in the Charlevoix area. And you will be under the bond supervision of our pretrial services people. We are going to set you up on a court fact app. They will do that for you so that you know how to handle that. It's basically a check-in so that they know where you are at any particular time. Your bond on this is going to be $20,000 cash. You would need $20,000 to get out of jail. And you must, well, we can't set up the court fact app until after release. So at this point, all right, we are going to set your probable cause conference, and that's going to be within 7 to 14 days of today. You have the right to have that conference scheduled between that time period. We're looking at doing that on the 17th, which is actually next Friday. So it's on the 7-day end. We'll make sure that the clerk is able to get this information out to the court appointments so that you have an attorney as quickly as possible. You have the right to have the preliminary exam within 5 to 7 days of that date, and that will be on the 24th of January at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, both of these hearings are in-person hearings. So
I
you
have a prior court hearing at that time in Kalkaska County for my children
at 11 o'clock?
at 11 o'clock on the 24th. Yes, I have a prior.
Okay, we are still going to schedule it for that. Your attorney can work through that with the court so that you'll be able to do both things at the same, well, not at the same time, but you'll be able to attend both. All right? So make sure that your attorney, your court-appointed attorney, is aware of that Kalkaska hearing.
She should hear from her attorney early next week.
I would suggest we hope it would be on Monday. I'm not sure who the attorney is going to be that will be appointed, but hopefully it would be Monday, no later than Tuesday. And if they need additional time, I'm sure that a stipend order with the prosecutor would be in order.
Excuse me. You know if she will be transported to Charlevoix and when that might be?
No, I believe Charlevoix is just going to place a hold. And if they want to do any further hearings, they'll be doing those by Zoom into our jail.
Okay, so she should be staying at the Luan County Jail rather than being up in Charlotte.
Unless she posts $20,000, she'll be with us. Yes.
Understood.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it will be up to Charlevoix if they wish, Charlevoix's prosecutors, if they wish to speed this up.
Understood. Thank you.
All right. If there are any questions, Ms. Weigel?
No, thank you.
All right. We'll be sending the paperwork over for your information. Yes,
You
sir.
want me to bring the next person in?
So if I
would-
so if I come up with $20,000 right now, I can get out unless Charlevoix.
Charlevoix will
hold on.
come and take you away. And then you stand to lose that $20,000 if you don't show up for court.
Well, I plan to show up for court. I'm not gonna run on this. I want to get it all dealt with.
I'm just saying, if Charlevoix has you in jail and you don't show up for us, you would stand to lose that bond money.
Okay,
Okay?
so I pretty much can't bond out either way.
It's up to you.
I think you should talk to your attorney about that and decide what you want to do. You should be talking to him, sounds like on Monday.
Mr. Hubble, there is a hold on Mr. Ferrari also by Charlevoix County, just so you're aware.
Okay, we should probably tell him that when he comes in.
I believe there's also an MDOC one as well.
That one hadn't been placed yet. It was
Okay.
in the process.
Yeah, my understanding is that um, he was told by Miss Meyer that they weren't going to place a hold on him, but I guess that could have changed.
Yeah, we're not sure. At this point, we don't have official word.
Okay,
All right, then this is case 25-2609 FY2, Joel Dante Ferrari. What's your full name, sir, and your address?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is a case alleging receiving and concealing stolen property, $1,000 or more, but less than $20,000. And we have a habitual offender third offense notice. Now, present today is our prosecutor, Mr. Chamberlain, and also our MIDC attorney, or the attorney that will assist you through this first hearing, Mr. Hubble. So, Mr. Hubble, have you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Ferrari regarding the alleged charge, the possible sentence, and his Miranda rights?
I have, Your Honor. I believe he understands what the current complaint charges. He understands his rights. He'd waive a formal reading of those. He is asking the court to appoint an attorney for him in this case, please.
Okay. Mr. Ferrari, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the information you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Do.
I will be asking you questions for the purpose of the court-appointed attorney request and also for bond setting on this case. What is your current phone number, sir? Okay, we need to be absolutely sure of what your phone number is so that your court-appointed attorney can get a hold of you. So are you working?
Yes.
Where?
Riverside Resale.
How long have you been doing that?
Since I stopped working at Boondocks, so that would have been since the last week in October.
2.5 months, you say?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you paid hourly?
Yes.
What is your
Well,
hourly rate?
daily, really, it's about $100 a day.
100 a day?
Mm-hmm.
And are you full-time or part-time?
I've been full-time. And I was also moving my career to my old job, which was selling water softeners. That was supposed to happen in the next couple of weeks. So I guess we'll see what happens here.
All right. Do you have any other source of income besides Riverside?
No.
Do you own any real estate or a vehicle?
I own a vehicle.
What kind of vehicle?
1996 GMC Sierra.
Do you have any money in the bank?
About $1.
All right, minimum amount. All right, the court's going to appoint an attorney to assist you through this process. You should be receiving that information in the next couple of days. This brings us
Okay.
to bond setting on this. So, Mr. Hubble, what would you like to say about bond?
The court's informed me that there's a hold on you from Charlevoix, and there may be a hold coming through the Department of Corrections. So I would just wanted him to know that information. He is asking for a PR bond. He's lived here his whole life. His dad lives in the area. If he's released, he would be living with his father rather than going back to the Hall Street address. Given the fact that there is a hold on him, probably, I guess he want to request a low PR bond or a low 10% bond just so he can arguably get credit for the time he's sitting there. And he should hear from his attorney probably early next week.
We would
Right.
hope so.
Okay.
Anything further, Mr. Hubble, on that?
He's lived in the area his whole life. It sounds like he has complied with bond conditions in the past in his other cases. He doesn't have any history of not showing up for court. His probation officer, Joe Myers, is aware of this case and has talked to him about it. He understood that she wasn't going to put a detainer on him for this matter.
All right, thank you. Mr. Chamberlain, anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, for this case, I do not believe a PR bond is appropriate. I think the bond should be at least $10,000 cash and have a tether. Or it is currently charged as a 5-year receiving and concealing habitual offender third. I have been informed by the victim that they believe the amount could be actually $30,000 that were stolen, which would increase this to a 10-year felony habitual offender third. The Charlevoix, at least as the best I understand it, is they have a conspiracy with his co-defendant Larceny over $100,000, which is a 20-year felony. The property was actually valued at $2.4 million. I also believe, charged home invasion second, a 15-year felony, and attempted larceny, which is a 5-year. I believe that's everything you need to know, Your Honor.
Well, thank you. All right, standard bond conditions are going to apply to this case. You may not leave the state without permission from the court, and you're not to get into trouble while you're out on bond. No alcohol, illegal drugs, marijuana, minor mood altering substances are to be in your possession anytime. Do you have a medical marijuana card, sir?
Yes, I do.
Is it current?
Yes.
All right, you need to provide a copy of that to the court within 48 hours of release.
Okay.
Do you take any other prescriptions?
No, ma'am.
If that should change, you would need to provide those to the court also.
Okay.
You're subject to discretionary testing for both drugs and alcohol. We are going to be ordering a benchmark drug screen when you're released, and then twice a month random drug screens after that. Those will be done at New Direction.
Okay.
No weapons of any kind, no threatening,
No.
intimidating, harassing behavior towards any persons. Be respectful of all court staff, law enforcement, care providers. You're not to operate a motor vehicle without a valid license, registration, insurance, and not with drugs or alcohol in your person. You're not to have any contact with your co-defendant. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victims. You're not to go to the alleged address in Charlevoix County. And you will be doing the Court Fact app through our pretrial services. They will be in charge of your bond conditions while you're out on bond.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Well, they will
that-
explain that all to you. It's a Court Fact
Okay.
check-in where you check in with the court or your bond
Okay.
officer periodically so that they
Okay.
know where you are and what's up.
Okay.
All right, the bond on this now. So you are on probation for prior case.
Yes.
You also have warrant out for your arrest out of Charlevoix County. We are going to be
Yeah.
setting a cash bond of $25,000. Now, just so you know, should you post that bond, you would be most likely be transported to Charlevoix County. And if you were to fail to report, and in the Leelanau case, you would stand to lose that $25,000 bond you would be posting. So that's something you need to be aware of. All right, sir?
Is that 25,000? That's what I have to pay, or is it 10%
Cash
of
bond,
that?
25,000 cash bond. All right, sir, you have the right to have a probable cause conference within 7 to 14 days of today. That is going to be set for the 17th at 8:30 in the morning. That's an in-person hearing with you, your attorney, the prosecutor, and the magistrate or judge. Now, you have the right to have a preliminary exam within 5 to 7 days of the probable cause. That is actually scheduled for the 24th of January at 11 o'clock in the morning. Again, that's an in-person hearing here at the courthouse. All of this information will be sent to you at the jail, and you should be talking with your court-appointed attorney as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Questions from anyone?
No, thank
No.
you.
Okay, we're all set then. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen, and you may go ahead and leave the meeting now. Take care.
Thank you.